Welcome back, everyone, to another stirring episode of Brook in the Air. Tonight, we are reviewing some of the world's best and top-rated resorts. For adults only, not for the kids. Now, some of these places do allow kids, but they gotta be on a short leash. Metaphorically, though, if you want to introduce literalism to it, you can do that too.
But my children are the best behaved.
No. No.
They're adults, just smaller.
No. Then they should act like adults. If they can't, then they're out there. So this, as you can see, is downtown Cancun, Mexico. Cancun is a bustling city in Mexico. Obviously, it's a bustling city. It's in Mexico. But it's also one of the hottest vacation destinations for families galore. But, the beaches itself and the resorts along the beaches are normally for adults only. There are select swaths of beaches for families, for kids to be kids and run free and act like puppies at a leash.
What do you mean by adult-only beaches?
Use your imagination. Can't see it on YouTube for at least next 7 minutes.
Oh, so you mean, adult things only, like scantily
Adult time.
clad,
Yes.
lack of clothing. No, I'm using nice terminology, I just can't say the bad words. And fornication, that kind of thing.
Yes. Mass coitus.
Mas coitus!
So now, I did use some criteria in this list. Some of the criteria used from my blog, obviously, if those of you who have read it. If not, I highly encourage that. Very highly. But some
There will be links below.
Yes. Some of the criteria used are service, professionalism, chance of romance, real romance, and best value, affordability. Basically on a scale of 1 to 5. And you won't find any resort here ranked lower than a 4.2.
We would have videos of some of these. If many of you would watch and donate to her Patreon, we could do more with the work, but for right now we have pictures.
Yes. And we
Also
don't,
link below.
we don't have in-depth pictures because someone has too much to do.
Basically, more donations equal more free time for both of us and better things.
Yeah. So, we will get on with the first resort. I believe I have a list of about 13 or 14 resorts here. So, now you will find most of these are in the Caribbean. Not all, but most. And many are, for better or worse, Hyatt properties. Now, I have personally had good luck with Hyatt. Very good luck. Very good experiences overall. Some of you may think differently. I have yet to try Hyatt Resort. Some resorts I've been to are independent resorts, although now I think they're blocked by Marriott. But we'll see in the future.
And again, if you want her to try out a resort or a location, please, suggestions. Give her a reason to go there. Seriously. Anyway.
Number 1, LeBlanc Spa and Resort in Los Cabos, Mexico.
Now, question: is this number 1 or number 10?
Well, it's number 1 if we're going least to greatest.
Okay, so it's top 10 starting from 10.
Even though we don't really have 10, I have some extras. But yeah, this is the worst of the best, which is still pretty good. But it was the 2023 Traveler's Choice Award, voted by Travel and Leisure Magazine and U.S. News World Reports. Now, it's right on the Caribbean coast. Obviously on the shores of Los Cabos. It has an integrated. Why resorts have this, I have no idea, but they have an integrated pool right beside the beach.
Because they want people to be lazy and not have to do anything besides relax.
Which is the overall point of the resort, really. But this does have an integrated spa room as well. Um, the spa comes. Well, you have to pay extra for the spa.
Sometimes, yes.
Most of the time.
Most of
Like 90% of the time, you have to pay extra for the spa.
it. But if you're going to someplace like this, you're already spending oodles of money more than likely, right?
Generally speaking, yes. They do have certain travel deals most of the time. However, for people who just like on a whim decide, oh hey, let's go to a resort, they end up spending $15,000-$20,000.
And that's not counting plane tickets, right?
No, if you want plane tickets, which we more often than not do, then that's another $5,000 right there. Unless you were to follow my tips and tricks. My boyfriend and I, you'll hear him in the background, just got really good tickets to Germany in about 5 months. Actually, no, about 4 months now, for about $9,000, but they were worth about $30,000. Those are round trip tickets on Air Canada that we're paying about $1,000 a month for. Not bad.
We'll probably go through the entire trip on an episode once it gets closer.
Oh yeah. In
And
fact,
when we get back to show videos.
yeah, and I'm going to do bits and pieces here and there,
Yeah.
leading up to it. So overall, this is not that bad. I give it about a maybe 4.1 out of 5.
How do you say the name of it in English?
The blank
Blanc.
in English, the blank
Oh, I thought it was the white.
or the white, depending on your dialect, spa and resort in Los Cabos, Mexico.
The White Spa Resort in San Jose of Cabo. I think my Spanish is a little bit out of whack. Of Cabo, Mexico.
San Jose del Cabo. Not to be confused with Cabo San Lucas. That's coming up later.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's coming up later. But two completely different destinations.
And of course, probably some of you will probably ask this: how close is it to Baja California and Tijuana?
Not very close, I can tell you that. But you can still get there on an A321. On a single tank of fuel without having to refuel. So not too bad. But still, you're going to want to fly.
So how close is this to like Mexico City?
Not that close really, but closer than Tijuana.
So Atlantic or Pacific?
Pacific side.
Okay, so it's Pacific side.
You're looking at about 2 to 2.5 hours driving time to Mexico City.
Do they have their own airport, or would you have to drive or take a vehicle?
No, you can. They have their own airport, and then it's a short Uber, cab, Lyft ride from the airport to the resort. So it's really not bad, and they have a pretty good food selection too. I mean, and in-room dining, and pretty much 24/7 room service. Really not terrible. If you are going to pick a resort, this is by far. You could do a lot worse.
What time of year would you suggest?
Definitely spring. You don't want to go in the summer unless you like being a lobster.
And
And you don't want to go in the fall unless you like breeze everywhere.
you don't want to go in the winter because yay storms.
If you go in the winter, well, that's the height of typhoon season for them.
Hurricane.
Hurricanes on the east side, typhoons on the west side.
Meh.
You get battered by both.
That's true.
Typhoons fizzle out before they hit the California coast.
Yeah, but they love to hit Mexico.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Next.
next one. Number 9.
Excellent. Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. This is the rear of the resort. The entrance being on the other side. They drive you up to the front in a Bentley.
In a Bentley.
Yeah.
So, question. Did this get damaged at all by the earthquake that they had?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But it was repaired. That was one of the few things in Dominican Republic that was repaired fully.
Because it mostly hit Haiti, wasn't it?
It hit Haiti, and this was privately owned, so they had no problem raising the money to rebuild.
And it's probably got its own generators and everything and all that. How much does it cost to go here? Oh, I forgot to. Oh yeah, I asked for the last one. How much?
About maybe on average, and without scoring a deal, about like if you were just to book tickets online, you can do it through phone too. But who goes through the phone nowadays? Maybe about 3 to 4 thousand.
Now, would this also be one of those that you can get via cruise?
Yes, you can get there by cruise. In fact, all these resorts you can get to the cruise ship. If you want to take a cruise ship down there, very easy to do. Book a cruise from, say, I don't know, Port Canaveral or Port New York Harbor.
Or Port Los Angeles on the other
Yes.
side?
Although Port Los Angeles requires a transit through the Panama Canal.
Well, not for the first one, right?
Not for the first one, no.
Okay. But anything on the...
Yes. And anything in the Caribbean Central requires it. This is cheaper. This is about 300 to 400 a night. And as you can tell, they take excellent care of their pool.
But it's this one especially, just like the one in Mexico, also really depends on if anything else is going on in the country.
Yeah, any massive unrest, any riots, any natural
Take over by
disasters.
cartels.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for that. But overall, if you plan on staying secluded and safe in your resort, you're fine. Overall, when you're ready to go, the concierge escort service will pick you up again in Bentley, right at your suites. Well, obviously, as in the lobby, obviously, and drive you to the airport.
Now, the level of adultness, by the way, we're at 12 minutes.
Level of adultness, as long as you're not in any public spaces in the resort, like in the hallways or the lobby, you can anywhere you want.
Ah, so you can enjoy coitus. What about pool coitus?
Might be a little awkward around others, but go for it. If you don't care about offending other resort attendees or staff, the world is your oyster.
Can we have children here?
You can have children, but it's highly discouraged. If you really want to bring your kids, it's advised by the hotel property and other management facilities around, like even the nearby McDonald's, that you take your kids elsewhere. There's a very nice Motel 6 and Super 8 down the road.
Next one?
Yeah.
Number 7.
So this picture was taken right from their advertising page. No copyright violations on any of these. This was courtesy Sims Resorts. Obviously, it's Handles. In Grenada, or Granada, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
They fixed it up from when we invaded.
So it's overlooking part of the shore, and don't be confused, it's not a village in the background. That property is owned by the hotel as well.
So it's that big, and is this like a, for lack of a better word, a fall-off pool?
Well, that's a little misleading. It's an infinity wave pool.
Okay, so it's got the glass that leads up and the water falls
Yes.
over it.
This is all glassed off. You really are in no danger of falling anywhere. And
Unless you really try and jump over it, which
at that point you're suicidal and you shouldn't
Yeah.
be here anyway.
well, you deserve a Darwin Award.
Yeah, at least. So, this resort is actually really nice because not only is your personal infinity pool here, with complimentary room service, I looked this up, it's all complimentary and accompanying your suite ticket, room, bill, receipt, whatever. There's also a pool down here, and a pool over here, and a pool over here. Seriously, the resort goes through water like crazy.
More like have the ability to cycle.
And the Atlantic Ocean out here. The staff will deliver drinks and food upon request 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And it looks like it's a bunch of haciendas or cottages type things.
Yeah, that's also where the staff stay,
Okay.
out in distance. Everything is on site. They have at least 3 tennis courts, several squash courts, several racquetball courts.
Pickleball?
No.
But
Um, all guest amenities are included in your stay as a package. And overall, really can't go wrong too much. It has at least 2 Michelin star restaurants on site, and at least 5 cafes.
Cost.
You're gonna pay a pretty penny, about 3,000 per person.
Not counting flights.
Yes. Again, if you don't score a deal. Through me as a Viator certified travel agent.
Linked below.
Yes. Through Virtuoso, which has excellent perks on air flights, travel, amenities, and resorts and hotels.
Sandals probably has their own discounts too, right?
Sometimes unreliable because of seasonal changes.
And of course, if you get a cruise package, right?
And if you get a cruise package, and overall, if you get through Luxury Escapes, which I booked a lot of mine, you really can't go wrong. And Leading Hotels of the World. Leading Hotels of the World has some of the best deals on classy, upscale 5-star hotels and resorts.
And no, you will not look that good immediately if you go there and don't look that good already.
I'm sorry to say, if you go here expecting to look like an Adonis, you'll look the same thing as a balding 45-year-old accountant.
From Cleveland.
Yeah.
Next.
Next. Body Holiday of Santa Lucia. This is obviously in Santa Lucia in the Caribbean. And no, I'm not going to pronounce it Caribbean, like American. It's Caribbean.
And yes, it is a tasteful nude picture.
It exists. She's staring out at the Atlantic Ocean in her personal infinity pool. 24-foot size, square foot size infinity pool. Each guest stays in thatched lodges with her own pier and infinity pool. Now, people can go here as one person alone for whatever reason. Why you would go to a resort, a romantic resort alone, is beyond me. But
I
hey,
want to meet somebody.
you can do that too. If that's your choice, that's your preference. I don't judge. Whatever the hell you want. You can go there as a couple. You can go there as a threesome,
An adult group.
a polycool.
Speaking of that, children.
Not allowed.
Not allowed, so this one is a hell no.
Body Holiday has a no children allowed policy. Again, if you bring children to this resort, they will politely turn you away, and you forfeit your guest tickets.
Which, more than likely, it even says multiple times on their website.
You search for it under reservations, and under reservations it says no children under 18 allowed. If you want to bring your raging hormonal 18-year-old teen son, go for it.
Hey, if you're rich enough to where it's your 18-year-old and your girlfriend, have at it. Go after it like rabbits.
If that's your thing, and you want to do it in front of your son, go for it. As long as everyone's
No, I was talking about the two 18-year-olds.
as long as everyone's 18 or older, it's all fun and games. Now, they offer plenty of amenities here. They have 3 Michelin star restaurants, at least 4 cafes, and 1 spa and a sauna, and a jacuzzi each room. Plenty of king and queen size beds. I think their deluxe, whatever they call suite, has at least 1 California king size bed, and a square footage of at least 750 square feet.
And, of course, planes, cruises, so on. Deals at the same places.
Everything good here. If you are rich enough to own your own private helicopter and fly here, you can do that too.
Speaking of that, price.
Actually, not too expensive. You're looking at around $700 a night.
But I assume everything's a la carte.
No, actually. These are quite reasonable. Everything's included for any extras like water skiing or jet skiing, those are extra.
Hmm.
But you can jet ski on the Atlantic Ocean, and it's the only time you'll be able to go back to your job on Monday and tell your coworkers, I went jet skiing on the Atlantic Ocean, and it was amazing.
I went jet skiing in the Caribbean by St. Lucia. It was amazing.
And they'll be like, where's that? And you'll be like, you're working here at this firm for 12 years, you don't know what San Lucia is? Come on.
Alright. Yeah, that's all that I can think of with that one. Oh, who's this one owned by?
Oh, Body Holiday is owned by Body Holiday.
Okay, so it's independent. I
It's
forgot to ask on
independent.
the last one.
Hi.
Okay. Alright, so this one's all independent, all free. So
Well,
next,
not free, but
uh,
pricey,
you know what I
but
mean, yeah.
doable. Yeah.
next one.
So here we see one of my favorites. This really should be it towards the bottom, but hey, we're gonna do it here. This is a place I want to go to for a couple years now. It's on my to get to list. This is Gstaad Palace Resort in Switzerland, the town of Gstaad, which was a town built up around the hotel.
How old's the hotel?
About 200 years old at this point. It was actually founded in 1901, but it existed prior to that as a village and inn for company soldiers, policemen, officers, what have you.
Alright, children rules.
Children are allowed cautiously. They're not fond of kids. They would like to turn them away, but everyone is welcome as a paying customer.
Basically, if you're rich enough, you can get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, cost.
Cost is around $2,000 per person.
What's included?
So basically, what's included is everything. They have an integrated spa, sauna, at least one Michelin-star restaurant. Not much compared to the others, but you don't really need that much. At least 6 great cafes around the area. Plus, you have the entire town around to explore, which have plenty of independent restaurants as well. And then you have plenty of activities. Now, this hotel is only open 2 seasons a year. Summer and winter for the holidays.
So basically, hiking and skiing.
If you want to dumb it down. But really, in summer, there's racquetball, tennis, there's basketball even. There's, got running paths, trails that you can hike into. Hiking itself is a big one. I mean, you have plenty of activities to do. In wintertime, skiing is big. Snowboarding is bigger. Toboggan, ziplining. Ziplining is big in summer and winter. Prefer to winter because it's more cushiony. You have sledding, luging, bobsledding. They also, they don't really do this that often, but upon special request, you can connect a zip line from one of the turrets and glide that down to the town below. Now, you have to get special permission again to do that.
And you probably have to have a complete contract that says if you fall, we are not responsible.
An indemnification clause, yes. It's very...
That is how big of a drop?
That's several hundred feet.
Otherwise known as Splatter Panda.
Now, this only has about 600 rooms on the high end. No, I'm sorry. No, let me revise that. About 80 rooms. 80 rooms total. 80. And all of those are suites.
Okay, how do you get there?
So, yeah, if you're in the U.S., presuming you're in the U.S., you take a plane ride from the U.S. all the way to Zurich, Switzerland, preferably Zurich. Although you can go into any place around, like, say, Antwerp or Germany, like Berlin or Frankfurt.
But the point is, you take a plane
Yes.
and then you do
And then
what?
you drive. You can either take a long Uber, Lyft, taxi, or drive yourself.
Do they have their own? Do they have transport?
They do, but not that far. They take you to basically Zurich, Major International Airport, and back.
Okay, so best option is to fly into Zurich.
Best option, yeah, by far. And at that point, you can pretty much have carte blanche of anything you want. Now they do pick you up in a very nice Aston Martin or Bentley,
I thought it was an Audi or Range Rover, depending on what time.
usually in the summertime.
Oh, okay, in the summertime it's a car, but in the winter it's probably a Range Rover or something, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Now, Gstaad in the wintertime around the holidays is beautiful.
Yes, it does look like that.
This is not an edited picture by any means.
In fact, none of the pictures are edited
No.
that we know of.
This was taken from a actually a fellow YouTuber, but and travel vlogger, from his arrival in Gstaad from one of the hillsides on the road going down and then winding into town.
Are you talking about LT?
Yes.
Yes. Link to him will be down below. Most of these places, I think he's been to if you want to see videos, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
We can go next, yeah.
Unless you had more.
No, it's good. So here we come to another Caribbean destination. This is Secrets from Roma Beach Riviera in Cancun. Another Hyatt property. They're actually located in Playa del Carmen. But they call themselves Cancun because they're like 10 miles outside of Cancun.
This is lots of pools. Looks like a pool cabana, and then you stay in the buildings in the back.
Yes. So these are the guest rooms. This is central admission and departure, obviously. This is activity rental. And these are the main float pools. Yeah, there's a bar on the side. This is a main relaxation pool and day beds. Yes, they don't have just an average pool beds. They have day beds. Which, if you ask me, is a little ridiculous considering if someone splashes outside, it gets the bed completely soaked. But, hey.
They expect people to be adults.
That's funny. And then over here you have the actual beach and the ocean.
Alright, first question. Children.
Children are not allowed.
So 18 and older only.
18 and up only, and 21 over preferred.
Right, because of the alcohol.
They have different alcohol restrictions on there, but yeah, generally speaking, yes.
How do you get there?
You can either drive down south, or you can take the plane, which is probably the most convenient option, or you can take the train, which is not as convenient, or you can simply take the cruise ship as well. I would prefer to take the plane. It's the easiest option by far. And if you plan to get there the same day, it's more convenient.
So when should you go?
Down here, ideally in the spring or summer.
So not in the winter?
Not in the winter, no. I mean, you can go in the winter, but you're taking your life into your hands. A lot.
Yes, I was going to make a joke. If you've listened to the news, you know what the joke I was going to make, and that's all. I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, number. Cost.
Cost. Yes, cost. Around $1,800 per person.
What's included?
If you go in the summer months, especially when it's like prime, you get access to golf. You get access to tennis. You get access to unlimited number of activities overall, including jet skiing, parasailing,
The usual beach things.
hang gliding, yeah,
Volleyball,
usual summer activities, yeah. Although, if it were me, I'd simply sit my ass by the pool, and that'd be it. And I would swim a bit, overall, and that'd be it.
So, would you go to this?
Actually, yeah. This is really, really nice, and Playa del Carmen, near Cancun, is actually really, really nice.
Yeah, I forgot to ask you about the other ones, but I assume since you said Gstaad was the only one so far.
And this isn't their high property, so you can be sure it's well taken care of, overall.
Alright.
Now, this is Live Aqua Beach Resort of Cancun, on the other side of Cancun. This is a shot of their main restaurants. Finding pictures of the actual resort was very, very difficult.
Who's it owned by?
This is actually an independent resort. This is their H Azure restaurant. Near the ocean view. But
Again,
they have
hard to find pictures.
yeah, they have a lot of seafood on the menu. But this is a Michelin-starred restaurant, so take it or leave it. Overall, graded a 4.3 or so out of 5 because their service is exemplary, and the romance is amazing. Potential for romance anyway. The atmosphere is stunning, and the views cannot be beat. But overall, I would not choose to go to this because, I mean, I'm not really a fish person or a seafood person in general, and I can get better views at any other resort, really. And this does not have an integrated spa. You have to pay for the spa near the site.
Children allowed.
Yes.
Another reason why you wouldn't go. Cost.
Cost is around 2,000 or so per person.
And it would be the same thing since it's in Cancun, same way as the last one.
Yeah. Overall, it's really just easier to get there through plane.
Alright.
And it wouldn't be a large trip either. I mean, if you're departing from, say, I don't know, the tips of the U.S., like Boston or Seattle.
Or like San Antonio or Dallas.
We'll come to those in a second. But if you're departing from, like, Boston or Seattle, you're not looking at a long trip. Maybe 4 hours at tops. If you're departing from San Diego or, Florida, God help you, you're looking at maybe 2 hours. If you're departing from Tijuana, that's a domestic flight, so maybe an hour. San Diego, I just add extra time because of customs. Tijuana very clear customs, so who cares?
Well, and if you're departing from like Texas, what is that, an hour at best?
Well, it depends on the area of Texas. If you're departing from Dallas, then you got about 2 hours. If you're departing from like Houston, then you got about maybe an hour and a half.
Alright.
This is Breathless Cabo San Lucas Resort and Spa. Obviously, a good combination of the beaches, mountains, and rocks together. Not too bad. I give this one a 4.3 or so out of 5.
Even though it's a Hyatt property?
It's a high property, but it could be better. I like the architecture. It's very neo-modern. Kind of sandblasted. I like that. But, and all amenities are included. You can visit pretty much any time of the year, like the others, but I would avoid winter. And
For obvious reasons.
I just say that because you don't want to, like, granted it's more temperate in winter down there than it is up here, but you don't want to deal with, like,
Cold
and
wind.
wind.
Rain, wind.
yeah, blasting you in the face. It's
Yeah,
just,
kind of like our Los Angeles trip.
yeah. Now,
Children.
Children are allowed because it's a high property.
Tolerated.
They're tolerated. They're preferred not to attend, but if you have kids, they're not going to turn you away. Has 2 Michelin star restaurants, Michelin star rated restaurants, and has about I call them cafes, but they're small restaurants. Like you can just grab and go.
Cost.
Cost isn't too bad, maybe $1,200 a person. But you get what you pay for. I mean, you can check the boats, you can check out the boats, but you can't rent a boat.
Pacific or Atlantic?
On this side, Atlantic.
So, Florida cruise ships, New York cruise ships, plane.
Yeah, we're talking like Miami Harbor, Port Canaveral, Orlando. That's Port Canaveral, obviously.
Yeah.
New York City, Port New York City, their whole Port Authority thing. Um, but again, I would recommend traveling by plane, especially if you want to get there the same day. Obviously, it's a little rough getting down there, but once you do, you can relax with room service 24/7. It's not a bad stay by far.
What's the nearest airport?
And like I said, this is Marina View anyway. Nearest airport is actually Cancun International, which is a smaller airport, but it's still an international airport.
And then it's what, a drive?
Um,
Or is this one also seaplane?
no, this one's not seaplane. That comes later, but you can drive to this one because it's not an independent island. Overall, if you want to get to a major airport and drive there, you can take one of the ride services or drive yourself from Cancun to Mexico City, and then fly from Mexico City outwards. Now here's one of my favorites actually. This one I rate at 4.7 out of 5. It's Maya Resort of Rhodes. It's spelled Maya, but don't let that fool you. It's Maya. That's Rhodes, the Isle of Rhodes, Greece. This is obviously a aerial view of the resort, but it's so classy. It's a 5-star resort on the Isle of Rhodes. It has all amenities included. It's about 1,200 a person at most. And if you insist on like the deluxe King Caesar suite or whatever, then you're looking at around 3,000 a person. That's really not bad. I mean, with everything you get combined together. And you can go scuba diving, parasailing, swimming, whatever you want.
And since it's adults only,
And it is adults only. Kids are not allowed. Kids are not allowed at all. And if you've made the mistake of bringing your kids to Greece with no room for them, that's on you. I'm sorry.
so since this is on the Isle of Rhodes, that means it's required to take a ferry, right?
Yes, you take a plane to the mainland Greece, to like Athens, preferably, and then you can either take a ferry or take the resort's own seaplane service. Their seaplane service is amazing, and they don't show the port here. It's like over here-ish, but you take a seaplane in, and then they take a car for you. They pick you up at the seaport and take you to the front entrance of the resort here. I can see the Corinthian columns here, stretching all around the resort here, but especially the entrance, and all their rooms are suites. All amenities included. Has 2 Michelin-star restaurants, and about 5 or so cafes. And if you can't, for some reason, if you're that picky, you can't find something you like to eat, they got you covered. Rhodes itself has like a McDonald's down the street.
Cost.
Like I said, around 1,200 per person.
Oh, okay, I thought that was the last one.
No, that's this one. And if you insist again on the Caesar, King, Emperor, Dragon Deluxe, whatever it's called, then you're looking at 3,000, 3,500 bucks a person. But you're going to Greece for your vacation, honeymoon, divorce party, whatever. So, mazel tov. Here we go back to Caribbean.
Ah, St. Martin.
Sonesta Ocean Point Resort in San Martin. Or, if you prefer, it's San Martin. Owned by the Sonesta Corporation. Very, very good resort and hotel and spa. Integrated spa like many of the other resorts here. The spa is actually a split level, underground and above, on the end.
God, the ones on the bottom basically get pool chairs.
Yeah, they do. These also, unlike many other resorts, this resort charges more for the bottom than you do for the top.
No, it does make sense because you could basically direct access to the little pool area, whereas the other 3 floors you just get a balcony.
Now, see, we have to define the main difference between a resort and a hotel, being that a hotel is just a place you go to preferably relax, but mostly to get some sleep from one night to the next on a temporary visit. A resort you go to relax. Like, that's your main purpose. That's your sole function.
Speaking of that, children.
No children allowed. Plenty of time and availability for adult-only things. You're looking at around 700 a night, Horizon.
Really, only 700?
Mm-hmm.
Spa included?
Spa, no additional charge. However, to visit the rooftop balcony, that is additional charge. If you want to go down to the beach area that is owned by the hotel, that's additional charge. So they don't charge you for a lot of amenities, but they do charge you for some.
How does one get here?
Again, it's the Caribbean, so you take a plane or ferry, and hope to God the ferry docks at one of the major Caribbean islands.
So this is probably a seaplane one, right?
Seaplane ideally, or you can also take a plane and take a small charter plane. The hotel does run a charter plane service. Now you'll find planes in Nessa, stay suites and hotels around the nation. They're not that unknown now, but the resorts are a different world entirely. The only thing they have in common with their cousin hotels is the name Sonesta. Now, the
Oh, sorry, for the last one. Would you stay there?
Right there? Yes. I'll spend a night or two there. Now, this is the Miraval, Arizona Resort and Spa. This is the only resort on this list that is in the continental U.S. As you can tell, there's no water to be found anywhere. Although it does have its own pool. Underground. In a resort. In the resort proper.
Is it in the middle of the Arizona desert?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's their way of having guests get away from it all.
So it's the exact same thing as a African resort or a Middle East resort?
Yeah, in fact, one of the major sites in this resort is seeing the wild animals. That's one of their major perks. What did I say here? No. Hell no. 1 out of 5.
Wait, I'm still caught up on the seeing wild animals. I've been through Arizona. There's nothing there besides some coyotes, some jackrabbits.
Because they keep their own wild animal reserve. They have antelope, they have raccoons, they have jackrabbits.
Okay, do they have, like, exotic wild animals or just...
Some exotic. I'd say quasi-exotic.
What, they have hyenas?
Yeah.
They have giraffes?
No.
They have a couple elephants?
No. But they have rhinos. 1 rhino.
Okay. And it's freaking hot there because it's Arizona. It probably gets up to 120 in the summer.
Yeah, and the only positive point in its favor is that it's a high property and it's well maintained. The landscapers here have to do an immaculate job every day to keep the resort functioning.
Well, yeah, and you have to hope that there aren't any floods there or dust storms because it's Arizona.
This is about 200 miles south of Tucson.
Oh, but the Native Americans were really happy about that.
Oh, they were overjoyed. Average price per person per night is around $1,400 a night.
Children?
It's high, so they have to accept kids. But they prefer no kids, but they won't turn them away.
Well, why any child would want to go there? It's a huge sandbox. The only thing I can think about is having a cheetah or a tiger there and have them think the entire thing is a dang litter box.
I mean, you can go on excursions. Like they have guides that will take you on a trail hike through the desert, or like.
And you must watch out for rattlesnakes and scorpions. Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you ask me again if I would go here, the answer is no. A resounding no. Like I would spend the entire trip in Tucson itself, rather than
And you
at
just
this
barely
resort.
go there.
Yeah. So here you see the back of the resort proper. And
Let me guess, horseback riding is a big thing here.
Mhm. They will lend you your own horse for the duration of your stay.
And you could be hop along dummy.
Yeah. They will feed your horse, shelter it, bridle it, saddle it. All you have to do is go down to the front desk, tell them you want to ride for the day, and they'll set you right up. And your horse will be named Sugar or Cassidy or Biscuit or
Aztec.
something. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I only see that having rode a horse named Aztec in Colorado, but that's another story for another day.
I mean, overall, this would get probably the lowest rating of mine. And, yeah, between,
Well-
maybe a 4.0 out of 5.
You like places that are ridiculously hot and have no water, almost as little as you like places that are supposedly away from it all and have no amenities or places to shop.
I mean, they do have a great spa here, reportedly, and a great sauna and steam room. But, I mean, to go through this air train to get here,
Do they have hot springs?
No.
This seems like that would be a place where there would be hot springs, but okay.
and again, this is a domestic flight, so you can get here from any place in the U.S. within about 3, maybe 4 hours.
If you're overseas, wait, how close is it to Phoenix?
Not close at all, but within per plane, maybe an hour or so, 2 hours.
Yeah, you would probably take 2 flights. First one to Phoenix, second one to Tucson.
Seriously, yeah. Because I mean, this resort is literally in the middle of nowhere.
Hence why it's called the Solace Retreat.
Seriously, the Solace Retreat. That's sums up perfectly.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know, hot in the day, cold at night, doesn't matter when.
But hey, if this is your thing, if you're looking to get away from it all, I heartily recommend the Solace Retreat in Miraval.
That's the American desert. We probably have a couple sometime for if you want to go to places like Africa or the Middle East. Those are quite popular right now.
Oh yeah. So this is one I would go to. Surprisingly enough, this is the Unico 2087, by the Institute. 2087 Riviera Maya of El Dorado.
Question: is it on the road to find gold?
No. It was just cleverly named El Dorado for marketing purposes. This one is independently owned by Unico Corporation. They're not exactly American.
Well, yeah, I think it's down in Mexico, isn't it?
Yes. This is outside Mexico City.
So Pacific or Atlantic side?
This
Or
is more Atlantic side.
landlocked?
It's more Atlantic side. Definitely close to the Atlantic. All of its 250 rooms are suites.
Question: is it on the El Dorado River?
Yeah.
So you can take a riverboat up.
You really can. If you want to fit 2 vacations in one, you can take a riverboat, very scenic, and go out for the resort and check in. And then when your stay is over, pack your bags, head to Mexico City, and fly.
Adults only or children allowed?
No children allowed.
Cost?
Around $2,100 per person.
What's included?
I would say everything under the sun, but I'm pretty sure I've already used that joke. But basically, um, squash, tennis, swimming, water polo,
Golf,
golf, yes.
the usual adult things. For rich people.
They also have, interestingly enough, a very nice ice cream shop out there.
Yeah, I'm actually curious why the rest of them don't have that. That would seem like something that would be smart.
No one ever said these resorts were smart.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Each one of these rooms has their own jacuzzi and hot tub. One, every jacuzzi has a hot tub, obviously, but they alternate one or the other. And they also have a spa on demand service. So a spa masseuse can come to your room and give you a rub down.
Alright. Boop.
So this is another Hyatt property. It's like a fencing theme here. Secrets Wild Orchid of Montego Bay.
Isn't there a song about that?
Beach Boys. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go down to Kokomo?
Which, yes, are all... I think actually all have Hyatt resorts at them.
Oh, there's Kokomo Beach, Florida, which has a Hyatt resort. Montego Bay, Hyatt. Key Largo, obviously Florida, Hyatt. So Montego Bay is in Jamaica, obviously. Has a small array of suites actually, only about 180 suites total. Not as small as Casal Palace, but it's still quite small. Overall, it features a lot of beach rolling and swimming and wading, like W-A-D-I-N-G, wading. Kids are tolerated because it's a high property, but it's not suitable for kids. They have nothing for kids to do.
Suggestion time to go would probably be any time it's not hurricane season.
Yeah. No hurricane season. Ideally, spring would be a good time.
Spring before April, I believe it is, because that's when hurricane season starts.
Yeah. And if you're going to go in summer, go for it. But it's going to be hot, windy, and you might get a storm. You're not going to pay too much for resort prices. Maybe $800 per person. If you insist on the deluxe, like top suite, you're looking at maybe $1,800 to $2,400 per person.
And of course, you would get here by obviously
Plane.
by flying into
Flying into, I don't remember their major airport name.
Port-au-Prince?
No.
That's-
Jamaica has their own international airport, major international airport,
Mhm.
that all major airlines fly into, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Overall, it hosts the major airlines: KLM, Royal Dutch, Air France, Delta, United, Air Canada, almost anything you could imagine, really.
Or you could take a cruise ship down here.
Or you can take a cruise ship, but there's no guarantee it docks here. They're more akin to dock in the Bahamas nearby.
Speaking of Bahamas-ish,
Yes.
Well,
Not
this is
really.
not-
This
yeah,
is
Canary
Canary Islands. This is off the coast of Spain.
the Don Gregory,
The Don Gregory Badunas.
Las Palmas in the Canary Islands.
This is Dunas Resorts, independent property.
Off the coast of Spain, right?
Yes, off the coast of Spain. The Canary Islands, near Tenerife.
So you can actually fly into Tenerife and then take a boat or a seaplane, right?
Yeah, Tenerife is technically part of the Canary Islands. I would advise flying into them and then taking a speedboat in. While the resort does not have a speedboat service, they do welcome speedboat travelers.
And there's probably charters all the time, and people will
Constantly.
probably live off that.
Yeah. Over here, there's like maybe 120 suites. They're almost always filled. This is a very popular destination.
What about the children?
Children can go get, like they can get lost somewhere. They can go drown. They don't care.
So they are highly discouraged.
That'd be one way of putting it. Another way is children are not welcome here.
Alright, and the cost?
You're gonna pay a pretty penny for this one. Maybe about $3,800 per person per night. Now again, these are raw prices. They do not include packages. They do not include deals. There are many deals to be had and found almost everywhere. At Don Greggy, you can do a bunch of activities. You can stay in your suite and enjoy 24/7 room service if you want. Or instead of room service, you can go to their Michelin star restaurants. You can entertain yourself by the cafe. You can go down and swim in the pool, enjoy a beer poolside, or
You can have personal time.
you can have plenty of personal time too. Because knowing men, they're always all about sex anyway.
Spa services.
Yes, they have a spa on site and fully welcome you to their spa. They do not offer in-room spa service. Why? I have no idea why, but that's their policy. But their spa is actually one of the best around.
And you can do whatever you want pretty much on the beach in the way of activities.
Again, sex. So yeah.
Well, what I meant was like parasailing, anything on the beach like that.
Hang
Probably
gliding.
even dune bugging.
Yes. You can go dune buggying. Why you would want to is beyond me, but you can.
That's what Arizona's pretty much for.
Yeah. Now, this is one of my additions to the list. This is the one and only Reefy Raw Resort in the
Where?
Maldives.
In the Maldives.
You have your own personal butler service. This is where a lot of the customers and villagers, they have a special term for it, but a lot of the guests stay. Is their own thatched huts. Now these thatched huts are around 1,700 square feet, which is bigger than most of our apartments from the U.S.
However, if you are, for a lot of these that are open thatch huts, if you are wanting an AC, we will laugh at you. They will laugh at you.
And they will give you two big, muscly, handsome guys to fan you with palm fronds. That's your AC right there. I'm not even kidding.
Or an inner room fan.
At most, yeah.
Speaking of that, the cost.
This is the Maldives we're talking about, so around $7,000 per trip.
So, kind of about the same price as the Seychelles, right?
Seychelles is a bit cheaper depending on the resort. Seychelles you can get to and spend a good amount of time for around $4,000.
Children!
No.
Considering the drowning factor would probably be ridiculous of them falling off the edge of this thing.
I mean, you can bring kids to this place and they'll check you in, but if kids are lost, drowned, whatever, then they have you sign an FD indemnifying them against losses. So it's not their fault if you're a negligent parent.
Plenty of things to do, water.
You can go snorkeling, scuba diving. I highly recommend scuba diving. It's not that deep, and you see an abundance of fish, coral. Some jellyfish down there too. Sharks don't really come in here, and it's too shallow for squid. But if you're one of those like nature freaks who love sea life, then yeah, you're gonna be in paradise here.
What time of year?
Spring, summer, or fall, really. I would not advise the winter time. Although it's not cold in there, this is just off the Indian coast.
Typhoons.
Yeah, typhoons are prime, and it does get windy, which can make you really crave a hoodie or a jacket or some kind of thing, and it will make you leave the comfort of your resort, so you find comfort in the major city, which is the only capital city in Maldives, Malé.
Alright.
That's the only city, really.
Oh, how would you get there?
Plane to Malé, and then, like every resort in the Maldives, they have their own seaplane service.
Or
Which-
boats.
No, seaplane.
Oh, so it's only seaplanes?
Seaplane from Male into the resort's airport, and they literally call them the airport. This is another image from Mithi Ra. The other side of your living arrangements. Your thatched huts are only thatched in name only. You have a very sophisticated modern area.
And
One of these even includes a slide for kids or people who like to act like kids.
And as you can see, the weather is completely unforgiving. There is nothing to protect you.
Like this lady is reading a magazine by her beach area. She should go inside very soon.
That is if the weather decides to do that.
Yeah.
And
And my personal favorite, the Hotel Dubai Armani. Or, I'm sorry, Hotel Armani Dubai. 5-star urban hotel. I much personally prefer an urban cityscape to these beachfront properties. I'm weird, I know. I love urban environments as opposed to beach life.
children.
Children are not really permitted. It's Armani property. The Armani, the same corporation who produces men's fine suits and shoes for women and men. And they have branched into hotels now. They are not wide-ranging hotels, but they are few in number and very, very worth the price. You can get a one-room stay in a hotel in the Hotel Armani Dubai for around $520 US.
So here's a question. Since it's Dubai, any special caveats with traveling?
If you're a woman, do not travel there alone. You will not be welcome. You can, they'll let you in the country, but you will be lucky if you can leave. You must travel with a man, and if you're a woman, again, you must have a hijab or a veil.
At least outside of the hotel, right?
Yes.
Because judging by the pictures.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a Westerner and you're in a hotel, that's fine. Hotels are considered kind of, well, upper class hotels especially, are considered, well, sort of like embassies.
Same thing with anywhere close to the hotel, like the mall, right?
More or less. They have to kind of relax rules. They're forced to.
But if you go into Abu Dhabi proper,
Dubai proper.
or Dubai proper,
Although
it's
Abu Dhabi is the same thing. Abu Dhabi is like maybe 60 miles to the south of Dubai. Down
same
the coast.
routes.
Yeah. It's still part of Emirates. Now the mall is actually connected to Dubai, which is, or to Armani, the hotel. It's in the Burj Khalifa Tower. And it's amazing. Again, if you're a woman and you go into the city proper, you must have a veil or a hijab. Or you'll be arrested. When you're in the hotel, it's fine, you can wear whatever you want, or nearby.
Yeah. Like, I think in the mall, you're allowed, like I said. You're even allowed to wear shorts.
Men are allowed to wear shorts.
Well, I thought I saw a video where some
Women are allowed to wear leggings or shorts. Not short shorts, but shorts.
Yeah.
And this is another view of Hotel Armani Dubai. This is during the day in one of the rooms. They provide you with free room service by request. You're looking out over the cityscape. It's beautiful. But that's just me.
Basically, themed New York with sand.
Pretty accurate. New York City with sand, yes. And if you go out in the sand, you can dune buggy, race, go
Ride camels.
ride camels, ride ATVs, whatever you want.
If you're in good with one of the many princes.
You can go parachuting, paragliding. You can go ballooning. And to get here, you fly into one of the major airports. There's Sharjah to the south. There's the new Dubai International Airport, which is not yet open. I think it's going to open next year or two. And there's the current Dubai International Airport, which is like Sheikh Mohammed International Airport. So its ITA code is EXB. But the common airlines to get there are either Emirates or Etihad.
And then if you want to go through a couple other countries, Qatar.
Yes. You can get there through any major airline, major air carrier, but those are the most common. You can get there on Air Canada for that matter. I mean, but it's common to take, like, say, Emirates from New York City to Dubai. I mean, Emirates is the flag carrier of Dubai, so
What's the cost? I believe you said before it was $525.
about $525 for a basic room for a king size bed.
How much does a plane ticket cost?
Plane ticket. If you travel in business class on Emirates, and I highly recommend you do, use either air miles or their equivalency, or be prepared for a large expense on your credit card, because I guarantee you can't afford this in cash. It's about $8,000 US dollars.
And that's the round trip or one way?
That's one way.
Now, do they have any partner agreements with any other airlines?
Yes, Emirates has recently partnered in a preparation to join the Star Alliance. So your United miles will work on Emirates, and vice versa. You can earn United miles too on Emirates. So if you're, say, for example, going to take Emirates from New Jersey, Newark, Liberty International, from
Chicago, San Francisco.
yeah, to Dubai, you can do so and earn upwards of 15,000 air miles.
Actually, don't they have one-way trip? Don't they have direct flights now from San Francisco to Dubai?
Yes, they do. They have direct flights from SFO, to DXB, from JFK to DXB,
LAX?
from LAX to DXB, and from ORD to DXB, and from Newark to DXB.
Yep. ORD is Chicago, by the way.
Chicago O'Hare. Yep.
Yeah.
Chicago, by the way, is served, and we'll get more into this when we do airports. Chicago is served by two airports: the larger Chicago O'Hare, and the smaller Chicago Midway, which is named after Battle Midway.
That is the last one, I believe, which we have.
Yeah. And this video is unofficially brought to you by Luxury Escapes. They're not sponsoring this video, but I am a fan of Luxury Escapes. I have used them at least 3 times now to help book my vacations and travels. They are founded by 2 travel vloggers and vacation pioneers in the UK who wanted to collate a list of some of the best luxury experiences in the world, and they have done so. They have their own app that you can download on the Google Play Store, or God help you, Apple Store. That's all I have for you this week. Be sure to tune in next week. I will have a special episode up, probably back for the Bang Bang Shooting Military guys.
Might be doing some fun planes, right?
Maybe, yeah. Should be. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, and I appreciate it. And I will see you all in the air.